All right, we're going to be going over the setup details for the new ATR-2100x USB microphone from Audio-Technica. ATR-2100, very popular, known and loved for podcasters. It's usually between the ATR and the Yeti as far as USB mics, affordable budget recording. Audio-Technica brought out a new version of the mic earlier this year, which is the 2100x, which we'll be going over right now. The first thing you see here is the travel case. This is by Caseling. I'll go ahead and link this in the description, but it was cheap on Amazon, I think 15 bucks. Nice to keep everything protected. It's a hard shell case and keep everything in one container. So if I'm traveling, the cables, everything's in here and I can just throw it in the bag and go. So everything that came in the box is here with one exception. The mic comes with this mobile mic stand. As it's a little flimsy, and as I was screwing the clip on, I was trying to film this earlier today and it actually snapped and broke. So it's a little chintzy. I would say if you're going to be podcasting a lot, you might want to invest in like an actual heavy-duty microphone stand. I can link a couple if you need recommendations, but this was unfortunately probably the worst part about the accessories for the microphone. So we'll put that to the side. Other than that, we have the mic itself. I can't say exactly the material that it's made out of, but it does feel sturdier than the old version. I know a lot of times the headphone jacks and things on the ports on the bottom would tend to break after a lot of use. This one feels sturdier. I've recorded with it probably 20-25 times so far. Everything is still, in tip-top shape, which is awesome. Functionally, everything is pretty much the same as the old version. The microphone itself, you have the on and off switch, which is not doing anything because it's not plugged in yet. On the bottom, you have the XLR connection, headphone jack, volume control for the headphone jack, and the only difference is the USB port is now a USB-C instead of the old micro USB connection. And it comes with a few different cables. The main one that I'm using is USB-C to regular USB. Also comes with an XLR cable, regular old microphone cable here. And then the other one is the USB-C at both ends, which I haven't used, but if you have an iPad Pro or something that takes that USB-C connection, it does come with that as well, which is convenient. So this is everything that I have out of the box with the microphone. Like I said, the mic stand that I actually use is not from Audio-Technica. It's called Onstage Stands is the brand. Just a simple, solid base tabletop mic stand with a clip on top. And then the other things that we have here for recording that don't come in the box are any pair of headphones with a normal 1/8 inch connection. These happen to also be by Audio-Technica. I think these are the ATR-M20s. And then the other thing is just this Apple adapter. I use iPhone and iPad, so if I'm recording mobile, I don't have the iPad Pro with that USB-C connection, so I do need a USB to Lightning adapter. So this has a Lightning connection for iPhone and iPad, and at the other end, a regular USB, and then also another Lightning here for charging the phone while you're using the microphone. This is what I have. So we're going to set this up in two ways. One's going to be on a computer, one's going to be on a phone or tablet. Again, I'll be using iPhone just for the demonstration, but it should work pretty much the same way no matter what you're using. So we have the microphone itself. We'll take the USB-C end, plug that in the bottom of the microphone, grab my headphones here. I know the cables look a little bit like a mess. I usually have this tidier, but we're trying to just kind of run through this. The headphone connection goes here in the bottom as well. The other end of the USB cable here, the regular USB end, goes into the adapter. And then the adapter will go into your phone. Go ahead and open up the iPhone, tablet, whatever you have. And we're going to go to an app called Voice Memos. This comes pre-installed on the phone and the iPad, so it should be on your phone already. If it's not, you can always swipe down and search Voice Memos. We'll open up the Voice Memos app, start recording. And Voice Memos is always going to give you signal here. It's going to show you waveforms of what you're recording. So right now it should look almost like nothing's coming through because my mic is over here and I'm pretty far away from it when I'm talking, so the signal's very low. But if I tap on the mic, you should see the response here on the phone. So I'm getting signal from the mic. You can see when I tap it, those waveforms are coming through. So for solo recording for a podcast or even doing a remote call on Zoom or Skype or something similar, I'll oftentimes travel just with the ATR and with an iPad, plug this into the iPad and run Zoom and voice memos there on the tablet and record everything that way. One thing you want to be aware of and check once you have everything plugged in like this is that voice memos is reading the audio signal from the mic and not from whatever the built-in mic is on the phone. So you should notice if you ever change the audio device on your phone, voice memos will stop and it will kind of reset. So if I unplug this, it should catch that the audio device is gone and it will stop recording automatically. Now you notice if I'm recording here and it's grabbing audio signals from the built-in mic of the phone and not this microphone, once I plug this in, it should recalibrate and stop the recording or switch from the microphone. So you see that here? Yep, and then it switched over. So once it recognizes that there's something new plugged in, it will switch. So again, and follow the same instructions on the iPad. Plug the adapter in, open up Voice Memos app. You can open up the Zoom mobile app to take remote calls and record a conference call on Zoom and also have voice memos running at the same time. I do that all the time. It's easy to do. Haven't had any issues with both apps running at the same time, which is nice. And then, yeah, you can just kind of cut the computer out of the equation if you're trying to travel light or what have you. Let's switch over to the computer and we'll go over the settings there. All right, so just go ahead and plug the ATR USB cable into the computer. Again, I'm using Mac for the demonstration, but Windows has an app called Voice Recorder, which is very similar, so you should be able to follow the same steps there. First thing that you want to do is make sure that the Mac is reading the microphone. So go up to the Apple menu and System Preferences, and then we're going to go to Sound here, Sound Preferences. And under Input and Output, once the mic is plugged in, you should see the ATR-2100x listed here. So this is the only way to control the gain for the microphone. It usually has pretty good gain already set. I usually don't have to change it at all. But if your voice is boomy, if it's louder, and you notice that the mic is clipping, if you hear that it's clipping, getting distorted, you can come into these settings here and turn the input volume down to lower the gain on the microphone. I never have to do that, but just so you know where it is. And then remember there's a headphone jack on the mic as well, so you are also taking output from the ATR-2100x that will feed back through the mic through the headphone jack there. And the dial, the volume dial on the bottom of the mic is to control your headphone output on the microphone. It's not a gain control, it's volume for the headphone, monitoring volume. So once you're confirmed that the mic's plugged in, it's working properly, then you just need to record. On Mac, I usually recommend that folks use QuickTime, basically the desktop version of voice memos, just very simple audio recording that you can do alongside a screen share or Zoom or Skype, again, whatever you use to record. So just go ahead and open QuickTime. We'll go to File, and then go to New Audio Recording. And then all you have to do here is click this little drop down next to the record button and make sure that you have the microphone selected. So this is going to pick up audio from a specific source. You can see any audio sources that are showing up on your computer. Just make sure you have the ATR selected. Go ahead and start recording, and then just like voice memos on your phone, you will see audio signals appearing here in the waveform when you are speaking into the microphone. When the mic's getting signal, it will reflect here. If you're not getting any action here, that means that the mic's not plugged in, it might not be working, there's something wrong, so always look for this when you're recording. And again, if you're wearing headphones, you should be able to hear yourself as well. So go ahead and stop, and then this will ask you, you can play back, you can listen to it, or you can just save it. Just go ahead and File, Save, and you can name this whatever you want, and save it wherever you want on your computer. desktop or what have you. So that is the basic rundown of the ATR. I think the mic quality is pretty good. So I'm opening up another QuickTime file here just so you can hear the sound quality of the ATR. I wasn't using the ATR to record this earlier because I was actually showing off the microphone, so I couldn't actually use it. I was recording on a Zoom H6, but now you can hear the quality difference as I switched over to the ATR. So it's a dynamic cardioid mic. I'm very happy with the sound. I've trial run this along with an SM58, a couple other mics that I have here in the studio, and I'm actually a big fan of it. I normally only use it when I'm traveling or if I'm home versus in the studio, just for portability reasons. It's just easy to plug and play on iPad or whatever. I don't usually use it in the studio, but I might switch over. I'm still very happy with the sound quality of this as well. So I found it pretty. I found it to be pretty good across the board for a range of voice types, voice levels. It seems to be pretty good, all across the shows that we've worked on, the tests that we've done. It's solid. So I hope you enjoy the sound quality of the mic. I hope this helps get the mic set up, get things rolling. And if you have any questions, please drop them below. And if there's anything, maybe that I missed or went through too quickly, additional questions that you have on the microphone or a different piece of gear, recording equipment, microphone, what have you, that you kind of want us to cover, please just let us know, and we'll try to get to that. We appreciate all the feedback. Thanks.